Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Eric Johansson, a teacher with LSAT Demon. With me is Nathan Fox, founder of LSATdemon.com and the weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. Today, an email from Jenny.
Good afternoon. I'm working on getting accommodations for the June LSAT. I'm curious if you think it's more beneficial to request a 1.5x time or 2x time extension strictly based on maximizing test performance, not regarding any specific type of disability. I am likely to be approved for either one. I'm also going to request the removal of the experimental section, but that's a side note. I've heard people advise against 2x unless you truly need that much time, because you have to sit there for 70 minutes per section even if you finish a lot earlier. But others have pointed out that you can also request things that would make this waiting easier, like standing or sitting, etc. I think that 1.5x is sufficient to comfortably finish logical reasoning, but I'm slower at reading comprehension, so maybe 2x would be more beneficial for that. Any thoughts?
Yeah, try it out. Try out both. You have the option to try both in your practice tests and see what you truly need.
Correct. More is not always better. I think this is obvious. What if I were to allow you 150x? I don't think that would be good, right? If the section is going to take whatever that is, 4 days, I think that would definitely be bad for you.
You have to request a napping accommodation. Can I fall asleep during my downtime?
Yeah. Right. There is no objective answer to this.
Yeah.
Last paragraph, Jenny says, I'm still new to the LSAT, but I've been on a paid plan with the Demon since the beginning of my LSAT journey, which is nearly a month. And I am making terrific progress. Maybe I will naturally get faster at both LR and RC over the coming months, and 2x will end up being complete overkill? Are there any other accommodations that other students have received approval for that they have expressed feedback in their helpfulness? Thank you for everything, Jenny. That's not a real name. That's a pseudonym.
The ones
Jenny's
that I have,
like, what else could I get?
Yeah, the ones that I have heard of. Should we list all of them? Is this is this dangerous to tell people about all of the stuff that they might potentially get? I guess
I find the tone of the whole thing mildly distasteful, right? It's like, well, what other advantage can I get? Totally. Don't even worry about my specific disability. It's just all I want is the ones that are going to help me score higher.
True. We don't actually know what your need is, Jenny.
But that's not the point. It's not like this isn't supposed to be like shortcuts to a higher score.
Yeah, it is though. The way it's set up,
it is in fact shortcuts to a higher score, and I am
for some people. I would say for many people, some people legitimately need these accommodations. Others,
well, others, it's just going to help you because you have more time to figure out the questions.
Yeah,
it's hardly going to hurt anybody. It can only help to give extra time. We've said many times on these shows that we think that since 1.5x is the minimum extra time LSAC is allowed to give people, we think that is overpowered already. Like Jenny admits, 1.5x seems like it's time for me to comfortably finish LR. And that's just so ironic when most people don't comfortably finish LR. Most people shouldn't comfortably finish LR, but accommodated students are somehow magically entitled to comfortably finish LR. So, I'm glad, I do think that people should take advantage of whatever accommodations they need and are entitled to. Don't get me wrong. But the tone of this, of just sort of wanting to order off an a la carte menu of what are all the different things that you could maybe do for me that might help my score. Mm-hmm. And don't even worry about what my actual disability is. Mm-hmm. That's not the intention of these accommodations. Okay. So I really think the best advice we can give Jenny, I don't know of any other accommodations, Jenny, that I think you should request because I don't know anything about your disability. So I can't really tell you what might be. And even if I did know, I'm not an expert in disabilities. So I'm not sure that we could really confidently advise you about that. As far as the 1.5x or 2x, or 1.75x, which you can also request, or 2.25x, which you could request, I think you just need to go into the Demon and just try practice sections at different levels. You're going to get better. You are definitely going to get faster, Jenny. So I wouldn't request more than what you actually want. Do you know, Eric, they will change it, won't they, from test to test? So you have to sign up for a test and then request your accommodation. And then if you sign up for the next test and at that time you can probably revise your accommodation request to get a different amount of time.
I've had students who have revised from test to test.
Okay.
Yep.
So you can revise from test to test, but you don't really need to do that, Jenny, because you can just practice in the Demon at different rates and then see what you think is best for you.
Yep. Anything else for Jenny?
I think that's it. I still, every time accommodations come up, I grant, like, I don't want hate mail. I grant that there are reasonable accommodations that should be made for various things. I hate the idea, though, that there are other students out there who are just kind of like shopping for advantages.
Yeah.
And I feel like the system is kind of broken because of how easy it is to get the accommodations. Any more advice for Jenny?
Nope. Thanks, Jenny. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.